Alright, hello everyone. It is October 28th, 2024, and CEP applications just opened up on the Disney Careers website. Unfortunately, I did not finish my application video in time because, as me being me, I thought applications would open in November, but as always, Disney is a bit of a surprise, and applications did open up today. So I'm getting ready to head home, try to finish up this video to have it the following morning. So hopefully you're seeing this on the 29th or maybe even the 30th. But I just wanted to come on here and say that, whenever I'm saying that we don't know when the applications are going to open up, they're open now. This is the disclaimer for the beginning of the video. This video was filmed on October 16th. It's currently the 28th, but the video you're about to see was filmed on the 16th. Once again, I really stress that if you're applying, check the application qualifications that are listed now on the application posted. And also, again, be as quick as you can. Make the application good and high quality, but get the application in. We do not know when they are going to close, so it is best for you to do your best, put your best foot forward, but get that application in as soon as you can. Also, interesting to note that Disney is now paying CEP participants $17 an hour, which is $1 more than 2023 and 2024. Also noted is that you do need to be pursuing a bachelor's or master's degree from an accredited institution, which is something we talk about a little bit in this video, but for 2025, it is clearly stated that you need to be pursuing a bachelor's or a master's degree. The application also states that you must have completed at least one semester of studies at the time of applying. So unfortunately, if you did begin your studies this semester, you're a first-year student, you are not eligible for the 2025 CEP. Once again, read the application for yourself, make sure you're eligible, and best of luck in applying. Hi there everyone, and welcome to today's video on the 2025 Disney Cultural Exchange Program. My name is Ashley, I go by Ashley Smashley, and I am a previous Walt Disney World cast member currently living in Ontario, Canada. I participated in Disney's Cultural Exchange Program during the summers of 2023 and 2024. During both of my programs, I worked in merchandise, and my home locations were in Animal Kingdom and in Disney's Magic Kingdom. I worked at Animal Kingdom's Discovery Island stores, I picked up a lot at the Emporium, and I also worked at Magic Kingdom Park Arrivals. As I said before, this video is about the 2025 Cultural Exchange Program at Walt Disney World. Unfortunately, I am not applying for the 2025 program as I'm no longer eligible. But it is currently October when this is being filmed. It is coming up on the season where applications might be coming soon. If you are watching this video and you are planning to apply for the 2025 Cultural Exchange Program, I wish you luck, and I hope this video is a helpful resource for you. I want to be clear that I am a Canadian. I participated in Canada's Cultural Exchange Program with Disney, so a lot of my views are going to be based on the Canadian experience. There are a lot of things that might be true for multiple countries, but there are also some things like dates and different steps that we had to take that are specifically for Canada and might not apply for other countries. If you are not a Canadian, I'm very happy to meet you and have you watch this video. I would also encourage you to find any other creators or past alumni that have participated for your country's program to get the best idea of what your experience might be like. So first of all, let's start with the basics. What is Disney's Cultural Exchange Program? Disney's Cultural Exchange Program is a program in which international students can come live and work at Walt Disney World Resort. The intention of Disney's Cultural Exchange Program is exactly that, to exchange your culture. As an international student, you are moving to the United States of America to learn what it's like to live in the US, to engage in its culture. This allows you as an international student to get experience living away from home and living in a different country so that you can go back home, share your experiences with your friends, colleagues, and family. When you participate in the Disney Cultural Exchange Program, as a student, you are given a J-1 visa to come and live and work in the United States. Every month on the program, you do complete a cultural experience as a part of your cultural exchange. Basically, you just have to participate in a cultural activity that's non-theme park related, such as going to Target, which is a grocery store in the US, seeing a historical monument or park or whatever in the US. Or just a general thing in the United States that is a part of its culture that you don't have back at home. If you have any questions about the J1 visa, Disney has a lot of resources on their international program sites that you can find more information at. But regardless of the cultural exchange part of the program, the biggest popularity point of this program is that you as an international student get to live and work in Walt Disney World for a given amount of months. The CEP occurs during your summer break, which for most people is from May to August. I know a lot of Canadians, Indians, Mexicans who are here from May to August. French and the UK, I believe, came from June to August in this past year. The specific dates for the 2025 CEP will be revealed in your offer letter as well as your interview if you get to that point. You are provided housing by Disney at Flamingo Crossings Village. Flamingo Crossings Village is run by American Campus Communities in partnership with Disney, where all of the college program, international college program, and cultural representatives live, as well as a lot of Disney interns. Flamingo Crossings is a very secure and comfortable place to live, and it's really cool to be living amongst people from around the world. On your cultural exchange program, you are scheduled a minimum of 30 hours a week, and you can work anywhere in Disney World. I've known people who work at the parks, including myself, people who've worked at resorts, the water parks, as well as Disney Springs. I want to be clear that the cultural exchange program is different from the academic exchange program. The academic exchange program is a 6-month program in which you are given 2 different roles that each last 3 months long. The academic exchange program is done through a university in partnership with a university in the US. Once again, this is not the academic exchange program, so if you're looking for more information about the academic exchange program, it would be great to find another video as a resource. So that's the cultural exchange program. I loved my cultural exchange programs. I have had fantastic experiences. You can see a lot of my videos, a lot of vlogs that I've done about the program, but let's talk about now applying for the CEP. Now, before you apply, you have to make sure that you're eligible. If you are not eligible, you will be immediately put into no longer in consideration once you apply. I also just want to be clear that I am not a Disney recruiter. Even though I used to be a Disney cast member, I am no longer a cast member. I do not speak for the company, and anything that I say within this video is just based on my experiences alone and what has happened in the past for CEP recruitment. If you have any specific questions, it is best to reach out to the recruiters and the program support staff themselves. One of the big things with eligibility is I noticed between 2022 and 2024, there were a lot of eligibility changes that changed who was able to participate. These are the current eligibility requirements for all participants of the Cultural Exchange Program. Students must be enrolled in an accredited degree-issuing college or university and return to school for at least 1 term following the program, or participate immediately following graduation. Applicants must also be able to speak fluent English and be at least 18 years of age at the time of application submission. The CEP is currently available for the following countries: Australia, Brazil, Canada, Hong Kong, India, France, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, Thailand, Turkey, and the United Kingdom. This is posted by Disney on their website. You can always check this for yourself as well. So that is what Disney lists as the eligibility for the Cultural Exchange Program. But be aware, when the application does become available, eligibility will also be listed there, and it might have a couple different points that they're looking for that they didn't state before. The eligibility is based on the fact that they need to have certain things confirmed and set up in order to legally give you that J1 visa. If you do not meet those requirements, they're not able to give you that visa, and therefore you will be denied from the program. As you're going through the application, select yes or no honestly. A lot of these things will be about to check if you're eligible, and if you're not eligible, you will get that immediate no longer in consideration. So as that outline stated, you must be enrolled in a degree issuing university or college. In past, this has meant if you are studying for a diploma, a post-grad certificate, or a general certificate, as long as you were studying at a school that had the ability to issue degrees, even if you weren't getting one, you were eligible for the program. Now, this is where I'm talking about how eligibility kind of shifted in the year 2024. Some individuals that I know who are pursuing a diploma or a post-grad certificate or just a general certificate were denied from the program because of that. Another big thing is that you must be in school full time. After you book your interview, you will be required to give some documents to Disney to further confirm that you are eligible for this program. One of these documents is called the Proof of Student Status form. This is a form provided by Disney that you will have to present to your university and get signed to confirm that 1, you are a student enrolled in that university, and 2, that you're going to school full time. If there are any issues with this document, Disney will let you know, but the biggest thing is that you need to be confirmed that you're at that university. I'm not sure if it checks what you're studying, but it does need to confirm that you're full time as well. If any of these are not confirmed or not properly confirmed, you may risk becoming ineligible for the cultural exchange program. Another big aspect of eligibility that changed from 2023 to 2024 is how long you needed to be in school before participating in the cultural exchange program. As a lot of you know, I have a wonderful friend named Laura who you've seen in my vlogs and my posts. In 2023, Laura applied while she was in her first semester of university. It was her first year of university and her first semester of studying when she applied. In 2023, the rule that was by when you started the program, as in May 2023, you had to have completed at least 1 semester of university. Therefore, Laura was eligible, she got on the program, and she had a great time. Now, in 2024, this changed. In 2024, the application stated that you had to be done 1 semester of university by the time you were applying. This meant that everyone who was in their first year of university, in their first semester of studies, was not eligible to apply. This was because applications released in November 2023, while the first semester of regular school was happening. So, if you are a first year student and you are currently in your first semester of education, your first semester of education is the fall 2024 semester, double check the application and see what it says this year. Because if it's the same as last year, unfortunately, you are likely ineligible to participate in the 2025 program and you might have to try for a different year. So just be aware of these things. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is really read in to what the eligibility is once the application releases. I hope this is not a panic-inducing part of the video, but I want you to be educated on what could happen. Eligibility constantly changes. It depends on the demand of people that they want. It depends on how many people they have to deny or can accept. It also depends on if the J1 requirements change, which they can. Ultimately, the requirements are to make sure that the government of America can give you a J1 visa to come live and work in the United States. If you have any questions about your eligibility, you can always ask alumni who are in the Facebook group chats. If you find someone in a similar situation to you who has done the program or who has tried to do the program and got denied, that's always a great resource. But ultimately, if you have any questions, it's best to just reach out to Disney Program Support and hear directly from them what the application might mean. I wouldn't stress too much about this right now until the application releases. In all doubt, apply. Applying is free. Actually sending in the application is free. It takes time to make the resume, to make the cover letter, to complete the application, but no matter what your doubts are, if you're eligible or not, apply. The worst they can say is no. The question that happens all of the time in the Facebook group is, when is the application going to become available? Here's the answer. We don't know. No one ever knows when the applications are going to be released until they get released. In past years, applications have become available between November and December. In 2023, the applications opened on the first week of December in 2022. I applied on December 7th, 2022. In 2024, applications became available on November 10th, 2023. I applied on the same day, and the applications closed the next week on November 15th. For the 2023 year, the applications actually reopened on the first week of April. This did not happen in 2024. One thing that the Disney's careers website allows you to do is to sign up for email notifications about different jobs or programs that you're interested in. Though this sounds great, it's often that the CEP is not included in these postings or these notifications, and you can miss it. That saying, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you join the Facebook group for the 2025 CEP. The people in that group are constantly online. They are refreshing the Disney Programs website every day to know if that 2025 CEP application has opened. Join that Facebook group, have the notifications on, check up on that Facebook group, check up on those group chats. You will be alerted when the program becomes available. And that's saying, if you don't have Facebook, get Facebook. Don't have your parent join for you. Don't use your parent's account. Make your own Facebook. I know a lot of people don't want Facebook or they don't want social media. If you want the job at Disney, get Facebook. The reason why I suggest this is not only for the 2025 group, but if you do actually have the opportunity to go and work at Disney, a lot of the Facebook groups have shift exchanges, location information. A lot of Disney stuff is done on Facebook. So get Facebook. Do not have a parent join for you. Facebook group notifications are so important because you don't want to miss your chance to apply. Check up every day. It could happen tomorrow. It's currently October. They could release applications in October. It doesn't matter. We don't know their timelines. Disney decides the timelines, and when it's available, and when it's gone, it's gone. Applications can be posted and removed within days. Like I said, I applied on November 10th for my 2024 CEP, and it was gone by November 15th. That gave us one long weekend and like 3 business days to apply. And once it was gone on the 15th, it was gone. There were no other applications beyond that period. That being said, before applications open, it is important for you to have your resume and your cover letter prepared. Because the applications don't have a listed closing date, it is important to apply as soon as possible. A resume and a cover letter is really important. You need to apply with both. Do not only submit a resume, do not only submit a cover letter. You need to submit both, because if you don't, you risk being denied. Once the application becomes available, the actual application itself is just basic information about yourself, your legal name, your legal last name, things about you, your nationality, what country you're applying from, as well as other eligibility questions. Let's talk about the resumes and the cover letters. Now, starting with resumes. Resumes aren't typically a large concern for those participating in the CEP. In the Facebook chats, resumes don't often get a lot of questions. Most people are more anxious for the cover letter portion, but the resume is still very important. Honestly, using your standard resume is often fine. On the resume, you honestly just want to highlight your previous experience, highlight your skills. So put down where you've worked and what you've done. Now, if you need help crafting a resume, again, the CEP group chat on Facebook is often great. Some people are willing enough to share you theirs and let them know what they've done in past. But honestly, as a student, a lot of universities and colleges often have a resource on campus, online, with resume help, with job hunting help. Look up those resources at your school. If you want some help with your resume, go to those workshops and see what they have to say, see what they suggest to make a great resume. These are great resources, and as a student, utilize those resources at your school. Now, like I said, cover letters are often the biggest source of panic and concern for CEP applicants. Overall, cover letters are nothing to panic about, but it's something that you should work on and do well. Your resume is a great way to just highlight your experience and show what you have done and what you can do. But your cover letter is your opportunity to convince the Disney recruiters why you are the best selection for this program. That's saying, this is a job first and an experience second. You are not applying to the cultural exchange program because you want to go to Disney World every day, even though you might want to go to Disney World every day, and that is a good park. You are applying to the cultural exchange program because this is a job that you want to have. This is a job first. Though it is great that you love Disney World and that you want to go to the parks every day and you want to enjoy these perks of being a Disney cast member, don't talk about that. Don't do that. You are applying for a job at Disney World. Therefore, don't ramble on about how much you personally love Disney World as a guest. Instead, talk about why you love Disney as a company. Tell them why you want to work at Disney World. Again, this is a job first and an experience second. The most that I've seen people talk about Disney in their cover letter is how cast members have made their experiences more magical and that they want to be a part of those experiences for other people. Also, be reminded, you are applying for a cultural exchange program. Remember, the intention of this program is to live and work in another country that has a different culture than your own. So reflect on this in your cover letter. Why do you want to live and work in Florida in the summer? Why do you want to participate in a cultural exchange program? Seeing that the cover letter is a bit of an anxiety-inducing experience for a lot of people writing, here are some tips and tricks that I have used when writing my cover letters, and some that my alumni friends have also used. During your cover letter, do your best to use Disney terminology. One very easy way to do this is, instead of using the word customers, use the word guests. One of the biggest tips that you will hear from alumni is to use Disney's 5 keys within your cover letter. My favorite way to do this is to talk about my own past experiences and skills and try to weave in the 5 keys into that terminology of when I'm expressing my experiences and my skills, and how I will work really well with Disney. If you are a new participant and you don't know what the 5 keys are, they are safety, courtesy, inclusion, show, and efficiency. If you do have the opportunity to become a cast member, you will know these 5 keys like the back of your hand. They are mentioned so much in your training and even just in general in your working life. The keys really shape how Disney operates and how you work as a cast member. So it's great in your cover letter to give an understanding of how you already participate using those keys in your daily life, and that they will translate into you being a cast member at Disney World. So therefore, do your best to mention these keys or use synonyms of these keys to try to subtly give that intention. Safety is a very straightforward key. Everything that you do as a cast member must be done in a safe manner, and everything that you do ensures others' safeties in your environment. Courtesy is the means that you are helpful, kind, and professional. Disney is known for their incredible guest service, which is highly attributed to courtesy. To be courteous, be attentive to your guests, be helpful, and be kind when engaging with your co-cast. The inclusion key is the newest key, and it's what Disney calls their supercharging key. The inclusion key is committed to ensure that everyone feels welcome. The inclusion key is a commitment to ensure that everyone feels welcome, allyship is celebrated, and diverse ideas are welcome. This key focuses on inclusion and belonging. Now, the key of show is often one that new cast members kind of find confusing, and they don't really understand what it means from the get-go. At Disney, all of our employees are called cast members, which is because we're putting on a show. We work to ensure that everything goes smooth at Disney, that this show is done with ease, which is everything that happens at Disney World. We maintain the show by making sure that we ourselves are presentable, that the areas that we work in are presentable, that the parks and the resorts and the amenities at Disney World are beautiful. Show also includes that cast members are staying in character. Show ensures an immersive experience for guests, and you'll be often told as a cast member that you always want to maintain good show. And lastly, efficiency is the 5th key. Disney is notable for being one of the busiest places that you will go to. It's important to try your best to be efficient while still being safe to make sure that guests have the most enjoyable experience that they can have. So in order to use the 5 keys within your terminology, I, for example, really reflected on my previous experiences, my previous working experiences, specifically working in retail as well as working as a camp director, and talking about my experiences while filtering in those keys within my cover letter. So, for example, This is a quote from the cover letter that I made in 2024. I said, working in retail and public environments requires efficient service, which is experience that will allow me to thrive in the fast-paced environments at Walt Disney World. Another example, I said that being a director equipped me to lead a team appropriately and support my coworkers, as well as ensure the safety and enjoyment of the campers at camp. So those are examples of how I used efficiency and safety in my cover letters. Things like show is a little more challenging to subtly get into your cover letter, but if you have experience keeping an area well maintained, if you have experience, you can kind of put show and courtesy together of maintaining a good show, maintaining a good look as an employee, but also being courteous to your guests, right? There are ways to make that more subtle. I know a lot of alumni don't mind sharing their experience with their cover letter writing, what they suggest you to say. So again, Facebook groups are great for that. There are also alumni who are very happy to share what they've said before in their cover letters, but I just encourage you to be aware that plagiarism is never okay. Never plagiarize someone else's work, but use them as a resource to maybe think about what things you could say, what experience you can draw on to make sure that you have the best shot to get into the program. The formatting of your cover letter is also a very, very popular question that is often asked. I did the following format for both of my cover letters. I started off with an introduction. I included my name, who I am, and what I'm applying for. In 2024, I had a specific alumni section where I included why I want to do the program again, what I previously learned as a cast member and the skills that I developed, the experience living and working in another country and what I learned from that, the cultural exchange program aspect, new skills that I hope to develop while on a new program, and how I previously used the keys. My next section focused on my previous experiences and how I thought they would allow me to thrive in a position with Disney. So I talked about my skills and how my experiences related to the Disney keys. Like I said before, retail crowds demand efficiency, and working with children requires a high focus on safety. Then I concluded thanking them for their time and their consideration. I also talked about how in my previous vacations, Walt Disney World cast members have made my experiences magical, and it would be a joy to bring that magic to other families. That was my way of saying that I like Disney, but still being professional. Overall, it's generally noted that it is best to try to keep your cover letter to one page. If you go over this, don't worry, but a one-page limit is great to keep your information precise and make sure that you're not rambling in the cover letter. Overall advice for both your resume and your cover letter, have someone take a second look at it. Many alumni, like I said, are so happy to give you advice on your cover letter through that Facebook group. But otherwise, have someone look over your resume, your cover letter, take them to your school, give them to a family member, a friend, someone you know that has good cover letters and resumes. Have them look it over and give you a second opinion to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward when you apply. Now again, there are no excuses when applying. If you miss the deadline, you miss the deadline. The Disney program's application website has an option to save your application. So if you're in the middle of it and you need to take a break or you need to step away, you are able to save it. But even if you save the posting, if the posting goes away, it's gone. Your application will be totally gone. There is no excuse for semi-completed applications. If it's not submitted by the time that that posting is removed on the website, your shot is over. You have one shot. Apply, and I wish you luck. Now, we're really looking ahead. Right now, we're still in application focus, but let's zoom forward and talk about interviewing for Disney's Cultural Exchange Program. I interviewed in person twice in Toronto. In 2023, interviews were held in Quebec City, Toronto, and Vancouver, and alumni in 2023 were offered online Zoom-based interviews. In 2024, interviews were held in Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver with no online interview options. I'm not sure if any online interviews happened, I don't know, but they were not offered. If you cannot make it to an in-person interview, if it is required that you go to an in-person interview, you might not be able to interview for this program. Recruiters are usually firm if they are or if they aren't offering online interviews. If you aren't local to one of the cities listed for an interview, yes, this means that you will have to travel. In 2023, the role checklist was sent on January 3rd, 2023, and we got our interview offers on January 4th, 2023. I interviewed on January 10th, 2023. In 2024, a little similar but a little earlier, I got my role checklist and my interview offer on December 20th, 2023, and I interviewed January 8th, 2024. That was a nice timeline because it gave a little bit more time for people to plan flights, plan travel, plan accommodations in order to get to Toronto to interview, or to Montreal, or to Vancouver. 2023 was really challenging because it was about a week turnaround. Now, you heard me say role checklist. If you don't know what the role checklist is, it's a checklist in which you rank your interest in the roles that you could potentially work in at Disney. Not all of these roles will be available to you. For example, sometimes housekeeping and entertainment-based roles like character performer, face performer, fur performer are on that sheet. You still rank them, but they're not necessarily all roles that will be offered in your interview. You can rank your options as no interest, low interest, moderate interest, and high interest. No matter what you rank any role though, you could work in that role. Even if you say you have no interest in custodial, you could be offered a custodial contract. In my experience, I've ranked the roles super honestly, and it has never affected my eligibility for this program. I said no interest to food, I've said no interest to custodial, I said no interest to housekeeping, even though that wasn't an offered position in past, but I've said no to several. I've also said low, moderate, and high to any. Again, this meant like I still could have been offered any contract, but I want to be clear, a big question when the role checklist comes is that if I say no, will they get upset or will they think that's weird? No. Answer honestly. Would you want to work in this role for 3 months? Can you work in this role for 3 months? Again, you can get any role, but this is just an opportunity to share with Disney in advance what you're interested in for their own numbers, what they have to recruit. At the interview, you first attend a presentation on the cultural exchange program. This is a slides presentation given by the recruiters. This is an important thing because it will confirm when the dates for your country's cultural exchange program is happening. You will also get information on the roles available to you. In 2023, food and beverage, merch, attractions, custodial, and Cedar were offered. And in 2024, food and bev, merch, attractions, custodial, Cedar, lifeguard, and recreations attractions were offered. You will also learn anything about fees and when they're required to be paid by. One of my biggest things for the presentation, one of my biggest tips, is to bring a notepad. There is a lot of information that you will need to know. Bring a notepad and a pen. Don't take notes on your phone. It is unprofessional to be on your phone or a device during a presentation. Write down all the information that you think you'll need, as well as write down any questions if you have any. There will be opportunities within the presentation to ask questions, but also opportunities one-on-one when you do have your interview with a recruiter to ask them a question. Now, your interview with your recruiter is after the presentation. You will have a one-on-one interview with the recruiter. Both of my interviews, both in 2023 and 2024, were a maximum of 10 minutes long. In 2023, I was interviewed by Danielle. Danielle asked the following things. She asked where I was attending school and what I was studying, where I currently work, why I wanted to do the cultural exchange program, what roles I was interested in, and with the roles she asked one by one why I was interested in each role. So I had said merchandise was my number 1, I said attractions was number 2, and Cedar was number 3. In 2023, I wanted merchandise. Like, that was what I was going to get. So I made it clear that I was intentionally working in my current job to get retail experience, which she actually wrote down. She also asked me what my favorite ride was and my favorite restaurant was, and asked me if I had roommates before. So overall, you can see that the interviewing experience is a proper interview, but you can see why it's a maximum of like 10 minutes long. It is a conversation. They want to get to know you. They want to see where you could possibly thrive in Disney. They can make notes about locations, and they essentially are responsible for deciding your role. In 2024, I got to be interviewed by Roy, and this time I was an alumni. Roy asked me about my previous program, what my role and location was, and why I want to come back. He also asked me some basic qualification questions like my passport expiry and my school status. We then talked about my 3 role interests and if I was open to any roles outside of my top 3, which the answer was no, and I said no. During 2024, my highly interested role was character attendant, but that wasn't offered. So my highest role was actually attractions, then I said merchandise and theater. He also asked about my previous experience living at Flamingo, as well as what my favorite memory was from my 2023 CEP. So again, with Roy, 10-minute maximum conversation, we talked about things logistically, why I want to come back, legal things such as my passport and my school to get the visa. But again, just was interested in talking. Recruiters love to talk to you. They want to know why you want to do the program. They're interested in you. And it's often looked at as a very stressful thing. Like, oh my gosh, the interview, I'm so nervous. But honestly, both of my interviews, I was nervous, but they ended up being a very positive experience. They're cast members too. They just want to know why you want to be a cast member. Now, when they ask you if you have any additional questions, ask a question. Just ask. First of all, ask a logistical question if you have one. Maybe the timeline that you'll hear back. That is a great question to ask. Around when will you hear back a yes or a no? If you have any other questions that you heard in the interview, when do your fees have to be paid? How much time do you have to accept if you receive the offer? Or anything that you wrote down within the presentation. One of my favorite things to do if I didn't have a logistical question, or in addition to just when would I hear back, because when would I hear back, I love to ask in every interview because I want to know the timeline. But one of my favorite things to ask the recruiters is specifically about their Disney journey, because they're a cast member too. In 2023, I asked Danielle what her favorite memory as a cast member was, and it was really fun to hear her story. Ask if they've done a program before. Ask how their career at Disney began. Ask them why they love working for Disney. Most cast members love to talk about Disney and their working experience. Me, for example, making these videos, I love to yap about my experience about Disney. And lastly, hopefully the step that you wish to accomplish is being accepted into the cultural exchange program. Previously, in 2023, I got my acceptance on January 24th, and I had the option to accept or deny within 14 days of receiving my offer. In 2024, I got accepted on January 23rd of 2024, and I was required to accept or deny my offer within 7 days. When you get the email that congratulations, you have been selected to participate in a Disney International program, your contract will be under your dashboard, and it will be outlined what your role is. Now, roles are firm, and in 2024, dates were also firm. Unless you present a reasonable and legitimate accommodation needs, you will not be able to receive a new role. So unfortunately, if you didn't want quick service food, if you didn't want merchandise, if you didn't want custodial, if you didn't want attractions, if you got that role, that's the role you have. Specific locations were available in 2023 on April 3rd and in 2024 on April 5th. Once you are accepted, you do have paperwork and program fees that you need to do. You must pay all fees and complete all of the required paperwork in order to accept your offer in the given timeline. The email that you receive will have specific steps of what you need to do in order to properly accept your role. Make sure you follow all of these steps. And then other things come later. In March, you usually have your background check requested, and your medical insurance information usually becomes available. Also in March, your dorms registration usually opens up, which is how to register for your housing. Housing accommodations also become accepted at that time. You do this on the American Campus Communities website. On that site, you can be accommodated for a solo bedroom and or a solo bathroom. If your accommodation is accepted or denied, it'll either be in your lease or you'll be emailed with a confirmation. You get your lease usually in late April or early May. Again, that's for Canadians with the Canadian timeline that I've been a part of. When the information comes, whether it's your acceptance letter, when other information becomes available, the Facebook group is really important to be in because you can make sure that you are getting all of the information that you need according to what other information others are getting. I want to be clear, there's no rush. The information will come when it comes. Don't expect your housing information to come the second that you apply. Don't expect your accommodations to come when they apply. Let it happen. The Disney programs team is busy. They have a lot to deal with. Canada is not the only country. There's so many other countries, as well as the general Disney College program that they have to manage. Informations will come. Don't rush it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. That is all I have for you guys today. So best of luck if you are applying to Disney's 2025 Cultural Exchange Program. I'm really sad that my experience with the Cultural Exchange Program is now done. I am no longer in school, I'm no longer studying, so I am not eligible for the program. But I can say that my 2 programs were some of the most incredible experiences that I've ever had, and I'm so thankful that I got the opportunity to participate. Now, quick reminders, if you haven't already, join the Facebook group that I've mentioned a couple times. This is a great resource for you to join yourself. Don't have a parent join it. You join it. Make a Facebook, join the group, get the information yourself. And a reminder, prepare your cover letter and resume now. Don't miss your shot if it opens up. Have those things ready to go, okay? But overall, best of luck. I wish you all luck, and I can't wait to see all the memories made on the 2025 CEP. Once again, my name is Ashley Smashley. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want more information about me or further 2025 CEP tips, you can subscribe to this channel here, or you can find more of my socials linked in the description below. Whether you're from Canada or you are from another country to participate in the Cultural Exchange Program, I hope you have a fantastic program if you get in. Best of luck. I fear I'm being a Twitch mod. Hold on. And I'm eating crispy mayonnaise.